from him and said, "Get out of my room." He grabs your face and just slams his lips on you and starts kissing you passionately. You get mad and pull him off of you, and he grabs your arm again and pulls you in for another kiss. This time you kissed back. But when you were done, you pushed him away and said, "Don't ever do that again." He grabs your arm and says, "But you liked it." As soon as he said that, your mother came bursting through the door. "Hey, you guys want some?" She pauses. Okay. She turns around before winking at you and says, "Have fun." She shuts the door. "I'm sorry about my mom." Bakugou just looks at you. It's okay. She's not mad at us. Apparently not. You both start giggling, and you sit on the bed and motion him to come towards you. As soon as he sits down, you get on his lap and said, "I've been waiting for this." He looks at you, surprised, and pushes you over and gets on top of you and you guys start making out. You eventually get really, really heated, but you remember what your mom said, and you know if she hears anything, she's gonna burst open the door, so you had to tell him that we couldn't do it. He seemed almost disappointed, and he said, "Okay, but come over to my place tomorrow. My parents won't be home." You looked at him and went. The next day at school, you kind of tried to avoid him, but also stay around him. He just kind of always was around you, and you just now noticed this. After the school day ends, you and him walk home. Eventually, when you were around his house, he held your hand. You felt butterflies in your stomach. This was possibly one of the greatest moments of your life, and you didn't know how to handle it. You turned to him and said, "Why are you holding my hand?" He looks at you and says, "Your name? It's because I like you. Don't be so stupid." Okay, you say. As soon as you get to his house, you take off your shoes, and he picks you up. Not in bridal style, but where you wrap your legs around him and starts kissing you, walking to his room. He lays you down on the bed. You know this is gonna be what he's gonna do to you, and you let him. You start taking off your clothes, and he starts taking off his. And an hour later, you guys were done doing the thing, and you guys, still naked, you snuggle up to him and you start watching a movie with him. You hear the door blast open. "Katsuki!" His mother starts screaming. What should I do?" You say, "Bakugou." He says, "It's fine. Just be normal." His mother burst open the door and sees me and said, "Oh, you have a friend over. Wait." And then she sees that we're both not dressed. And Bakugou gets up and gets another blanket from the bed since there's already two. "Get out, old hag," he says. "Hey!" She gets out. "That's no way to talk to your mother." "It's fine." Out of no surprise, she bursts open the door again and says, "Oh my god, Katsuki," and starts banging on his head. The blanket almost came loose, but he held it tighter. You get up with the blanket covering up your chest and says, "Hi." She looks at you and smiles. "Hi, you must be Katsuki's girlfriend." "Yeah." "Well, how long have you been dating?" You both look at each other. Bakugou says, 6 months. She turns to him and says, "Let the girl answer, Katsuki." So you answer, 6 months, even though that was a lie. She looked at you surprised and said, "How can you deal with him for 6 months? I can barely deal with him for the 16 years that I've been with him." She says, "He's not that bad." So she walks out of the room after her satisfied answer. He gets back into the bed and pulls you closer to his chest. And the rest you guys can imagine. That's really it for my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is the third part of my story. And I don't know how to feel about it. If you want the sexual part, just comment down below and I might do it. Okay, well, bye guys.